Okay, so BILT is finally laying the groundwork for how they're going to launch 2.0 for their new set of credit cards that's quite literally going to allow you to get points after paying your mortgage on their said credit cards. And in this email, or converted to this Reddit thread by Mr. Richard Kerr, who is the VP of Travel, mind you, actually discussing how this is going to go about and exactly how you can possibly get 2 new credit cards in the next few months with no hard pulls whatsoever. It's very, very interesting and very exciting, so let's go through it. So firstly, what you need to know. The BILT Card 2.0 launches February 7th, 2026. So that's the card everyone's been waiting for, where you can literally pay your mortgage, get some points instead of just rent. Now you can pay your mortgage on these said credit cards. And some of you may remember the surveys they went out last year where a lot of people were making videos on the 3 new cards and exactly what you get. Some of them are like, pay your mortgage, get 1.25 back, get 1 point per dollar spent, all those different things in different configurations. So apparently this is going to be launching on February 7th, so just a few months away. And so everyone's getting the email as follows. So as we prepare for this transition, applications will no longer, mind you, no longer be accepted for the Wells Fargo BILT MasterCard. So the ones that I have and all of you who have the BILT MasterCard have, that will no longer be accepted. You no longer can apply for those cards. And they mentioned in early January, we'll be hosting a special event where we reveal the details of our 3 new cards. And so discussing what the annual fees are actually going to be, how much the multipliers are going to be on the mortgages, new credits that come along these cards, and so much more. And they mentioned after the announcement, current card holders, so us or me, will be able to select which card is right for them, subject to a soft credit approval, so no more hard pulls apparently, and we'll deliver it to your door for the February 7th launch, so you're ready to go from day one. Very, very cool. So they mentioned that it's going to be a seamless transition, and so when you select your new 2.0 card, meaning one of those 3 cards, whether it's the $95 annual fee one, the $550 annual fee, $450, whatever they actually end up doing for the BILT 2.0 cards to pay your mortgage, they say that you're going to be able to just select one of those, again, no hard pull whatsoever, and you'll be able to just convert your card over, your existing BILT card over to this BILT 2.0 if you should choose to do that. Now, there's something interesting that happens if you decide to not convert your current BILT card over to these new BILT 2.0 cards, right? What actually they mention here is if you choose to transition to the new BILT 2.0 card, you'll be able to transfer any balance from your old Wells Fargo account, and you may also close down your Wells Fargo account as well. But if you choose to keep your Wells Fargo account open, the BILT card that we all have right now, the old account will then become an autograph Visa card with a different card number. Now that's pretty amazing because, you know, a lot of people, I remember when this card launched many years ago and we did videos on it, this is a pretty powerful card, I would say, as far as just like a direct earner. This card has a $0 annual fee. Now, of course, if you let it convert, you're very likely just locking yourself out of this bonus. So that's something to consider on one hand. But it's a $0 annual fee, and you earn 3x points on restaurants, dining, takeout, catering, gas stations, transit, streaming services, phone plans, and travel. It's kind of like a pretty insane earner, all things considered. And you know, many years ago, I wanted it because I have a Tesla and I want the electric vehicle charging stations. I don't have a car that gives me 3x back on that. So that would actually be very, very cool. And one thing that's also interesting happening with Wells Fargo, if you choose to do this, is they've actually introduced a lot of new partners recently. An example of this is actually JetBlue, which they've added very recently at a ratio of 1-to-1, which is actually pretty decent for JetBlue, considering all the other programs out there. And they're also starting to build up their swath of their own decent transfer partners. So if you're somebody that like didn't want to keep the, you know, BILT MasterCard for some reason, and you just wanted to hold this, it's going to convert over to your Wells Fargo autograph cards where you could start earning in that currency. But if you are somebody that wants to transition to BILT 2.0, which I'm assuming most of you will want to do, and myself included, you'll be able to, you know, transition to one of those 3 cards. And so hopefully if you were to do this and you were to convert over to the 3 new cards, and they mentioned like soft pull, I wonder if it's just going to be like a direct transition, meaning not a new card account and thus not having to affect your 524. I'm not sure. By this language stating like soft credit approval, my thoughts are it's still going to count as a new card. Not necessarily a product change, but I hope it's just a product change so it doesn't add to the new accounts that you've gotten. So this way your 524 doesn't get raised, but I guess we'll see what happens from here. And so they mentioned also a couple of other things. So when you select your new 2.0 card, everything transitions seamlessly on February 7th. So they said the card number stays the same, digital wallets auto update, so that's all fine, no hard inquiry. And then now, earn points on mortgages. Now, in addition to points on rent, your new BILT card 2.0, so yeah, you still can use it for your rent, but now it's going to be supercharged and allow you to pay your mortgage. It'll let you earn points on eligible mortgage payments regardless, look at this, regardless of who holds your mortgage. Now that's pretty freaking crazy. In fact, the first comment on this thread by Dude, he mentions points on mortgage regardless of who holds the loan is huge. And Richard Kerr responds to saying, huge. Absolutely. And so actually that is pretty freaking insane if it's going to be that, because we know recently they have introduced mortgages, but they mentioned it's going to be initially with UWM, which is United Wholesale Mortgage, and they're like one of the biggest ones in the world. And so you're going to start earning points with that mortgage alone. And so this is kind of interesting language that here it actually states, oh, regardless of who you hold the mortgage with. So I don't know if this is going to be like an initial rollout where it's like, okay, just with UWM. And then a little bit over time now we introduce to all mortgages. Like, I don't know if this is just like I don't know, a hot topic to just be like, yeah, anybody, anybody. Obviously over time it's going to be everybody. Is it going to be a mortgage from day one? Because they mentioned the UWM, I'm like, probably not. I mean, I'm guessing at least it's going to be that one mortgage company at first, but I'm not so sure. But if they do launch and it's like all mortgages from day one, that's infinitely powerful. And like, that's why I'm saying everybody would be running out and getting this card. I mean, a lot of people get it for rent and they love it for rent, but there's so many people with homes out there, an insane amount of people with homes. So I'm sure that's going to be another large market for them and for everybody watching. And even me myself, who actually has a mortgage, and spoiler, I actually found out a way to pay my mortgage with BILT and many other credit cards where I've been able to hit welcome offer after welcome offer by putting all of my mortgage spend on these credit cards using BILT. You might be wondering, how exactly did I get that done? And the way to do that is I put it actually in my private community, which is completely free for the first 7 days. And if you go into the classroom right here, you can see how to pay your mortgage with BILT step by step, where I literally show you my back end BILT account and my mortgage account and how I'm drafting payments through BILT on any credit card I want. Like every welcome offer I've hit in the last like 6 months, actually a year since I've had the mortgage, over a year now, I've used completely with BILT and either have paid on the BILT card or my other cards and hit a bunch of welcome offers. And I go through exactly how on this entire video. So if you want to join this community right here to check out how to pay your mortgage with BILT currently and not having to wait until February 7th, join this community. It's going to be in the pinned comment and the description. Come hang out, ask your questions, and join the live calls as well, where I go one-on-one with you guys on your biggest issues, biggest struggles in the credit card points and miles game. And so this is all very exciting because, well, now we'll have a direct one-to-one way to being able to pay our mortgages with our credit cards without having to go through all the other sneaky methods. And so I think that's really powerful. And they mentioned what's next. There's nothing you need to do right now. Keep using your card as usual, and then wait for that January launch party to where you can transition to one of those 3 cards, to which, again, is it going to be a $5.50 annual fee card? Is it going to be $95? Is it going to be another $0 annual fee card? I guess we'll see. Let's see what some of the Reddit people are speculating, though, because this guy Emotional Raisin says, would the BILT 2.0 card count as a new card account for $524, which is actually my question earlier, or would the switch to the Wells Fargo autograph count as a new card account to $524? So Richard Kerr mentions here, it will be a new credit line for the 2.0 card if you opt in. Remember, no hard inquiry. Your existing line will continue on unless you choose to close that account. So so that to me means that yes, it's going to be a new credit line, meaning it is going to count towards $524, unfortunately. However, I will say that's definitely worth it. I mean, if I could have a credit card that actually earned mortgage payments as easily as it seems they're going to make it out to be, that's worth it to me all day long. Now, one thing that we're just hoping that, we're hoping on, and actually Calby and I were talking about this morning, he was worried that maybe at that time, when they do launch, maybe they decided like, 1 point per dollar spent on mortgage is kind of crazy, especially with some people have mortgages, 3, 4, 5,000. I mean, obviously you'll still have your limit, I'm assuming, of like 100,000 per year, but maybe they're just wondering like, it's going to be a lot of savvy people out there using their BILT card and, not paying any fees. And, do we want to give 1 point per dollar like we do for rent? Maybe they'll just give 0.5. And Calby was like, I wouldn't be surprised to see that. I wouldn't either, especially in their initial rollout, to see, how much breakage there'll be, how profitable it actually is. So I'm interested to see exactly what will happen as far as like actual true multipliers. We know from the past with those three cards, they mentioned like, oh, you know, a multiplier of 1.25x on your mortgage payments or 1x on your mortgage payments. So I guess we'll see. A couple of other things here, which I thought was interesting, is if my credit is frozen for general security purposes, do I need to initiate a thaw when I decide to choose a new card I want? And they say, no, you will not need to thaw your credit for the soft credit pull. So real good info here as well. And one of the biggest things, which you guys may have seen my last video on, big exclamation point plus Rakuten is very good. So maybe this means BILT 2.0 plus Rakuten, very big. And they're mentioning, is there any other info on this? Some guys say it's a UI mistake. They weren't authorized to release, but I mean, I'm just assuming that BILT is going to be added to Rakuten as a new option. So this way, instead of just earning the membership reward points with American Express, you can now earn BILT points for all of your purchases on Rakuten, which is insanely revolutionary, and I think would probably change. I really do think this has a real shot at like BILT owning the entire credit card space over time. Again, perfect execution. Everything has to go well. They have to make sure they're printing money in some way. But if you had a given card that can earn on all of your mortgages and all of your rent payments, it happens to be one of the strongest currencies. Like you see all the ads out there. But I mean, they have great, transfer partners. Like Alaska that everybody's been loving. We have Virgin. We have all of these airline transfer partners alone. I mean, they even have Emirates that Chase has just lost, but they have been able to retain. They also have Hyatt and all these other hotel brands. It's just like you have a super strong currency that can now earn a decent amount from your mortgage, your rent payments. But then if you can start stacking that with Rakuten, oh man, I mean, that would be kind of crazy, especially if you're somebody that can rack up a ton of points with Rakuten. Like I myself, including referrals, which appreciated, but we have about 98,000 after all of my tours have gone through and my miscellaneous spend, about 100,000 pending. If I could transfer that all over to BILT, I mean, whew, that's kind of game over, man. That's kind of game over. But again, these things are nice on paper. Is this going to be the most amazing launch of all time in the history of credit cards? Maybe, maybe not. Nothing is necessarily certain. Things are probably going to change between now and then. But the only thing that is certain is that the credit card game is ever changing and very exciting. And once again, if you want to see how you can possibly pay your mortgage on your BILT card, it's not for everybody. It's a select few people, but I think it's worth a try because there's really no risk to doing it one time. Definitely would recommend going to the school community, which again is linked down in the pinned comment below. Join for free for the first 7 days. Go to the classroom, go to how to pay your mortgage, and there's a bunch of other things here, like a beginner's guide, Amex credit card hacks, how I booked Emirates with a live call, so many different things. I want to put it all here because if I put it out on the videos like you're watching right here, things are likely to get nerfed. So I hope to see you there. I hope to see you in the next video. Appreciate you guys for being all the way to the end. Thank you so much. Keep traveling, have fun, and maybe we can get some mortgage payments, baby. I don't know. Very interesting.